The purpose of this video is to demonstrate the use of a transfer pipette to dilute a solution and prepare a known volume of a diluted solution. In this particular case, you will need a transfer pipette, a pipette pump, a volumetric flask, the cap for the volumetric flask, some distilled water in a squirt bottle, your concentrated solution of known concentration, and a beaker for the waste. So initially what you will need to do is to rinse the transfer pipette with the solution that you are going to start with. To do that, what you're going to do is you're going to take your transfer pipette and insert it in the bottom of the pipette pump, and this doesn't have to be inserted too hard, and the pump will have a wheel that will allow you to take a plunger and suck solution up into the pipette. Place the pipette down into the concentrated solution, and using the wheel, draw solution up into the pipette. You should draw a solution such that the level of the meniscus goes above the calibration mark. Bring this over to the waste beaker, remove the pump, and allow the solution to drain until no longer the level of the solution changes within the pipette. There will be a small amount of solution remaining in the pipette. Simply touch the end of the pipette to the side of the beaker, and now you have rinsed your pipette. Now at this point, what you're going to do is draw solution up into the pipette. You want to draw it so that the bottom of the meniscus just touches the calibration mark. At this point, you will need a paper towel. Take the transfer pipette out of the solution, wipe off any liquid on the outside of the pipette, put the tip down into the volumetric flask, and remove the pipette pump and allow the solution to drain down into the volumetric flask. Again, have the tip of the pipette touch the side of the volumetric flask, and then when the solution stops draining, take that out of the volumetric flask. That remaining little bit of solution should stay in the pipette. That pipette has been calibrated to account for that solution. At this stage, you have 5 milliliters of your concentrated solution in the volumetric flask. At this point, we need to add solvent, in this case water, and initially, using your squirt bottle, add about 50 milliliters, essentially fill the volumetric flask about half full with the deionized water. At this stage, we want to make sure we have a homogeneous solution, so swirl, and then continue to add water until the liquid meniscus just touches the calibration mark. The bottom of the meniscus should touch the bottom, that calibration mark. At this point, we want to go very slowly and carefully, a few drops at a time. And now it is just touching the calibration mark. At this point, we no longer have a homogeneous solution. You need to take the cap and place it into the volumetric flask and twist it slightly. Take an invert and swirl and back, and do that several times to ensure that you have a homogeneous solution. At this stage, your diluted solution is prepared and you are ready to continue with your experiment.